Hello, how are you today? Let us tap in and tune in to the energy of today. Ooh, that was a sound that rang true for longer. Still residual. It's also giving me like the slowing down, right? Like a pendulum. It's like a slow stop. That's what the chimes are doing. It's still, but now it's not making a sound. Okay, so something about that resonating. You are looked after. Beautiful. We are jumping right in. You are looked after. Recognize the parts of you who hold that sentence and the parts of you that push it away, right? Recognize. Do you believe? Do you believe in life after love? I can feel something inside me say, I really don't think I'm strong enough. Oh, okay. So Yar, I think we hit it because I got the goosebumps. Okay. You don't think you are strong enough to endure, succeed, to be, but you are. Okay, you are looked after. Your work. Maybe it's a belief that you can be looked after. And I mean, this is coming from years of having to look after yourself, right? So, maybe there has been promises of people looking after you or of being looked after. And there's never been a follow through. I'm also getting resistance to being looked after because of that. It's like, if I trust that you are going to look after me and you don't, then what, right? This is where our inner wounding of our inner child, when they were abandoned, when they were left, dropped, or whatever, they didn't know how to pick up, how to look after self, right? But now you've already mastered looking after yourself. So it's okay to let someone else take over the reins, someone else to drive. It doesn't take away your abilities to drive, right? You just become a passenger. If something happens, if that person bails, you can just drive again, right? No biggie. No biggie. Okay, this is illusion. I feel like this is the illusion that you're not looked after. And this is perspective, right? recognizing stuff like rejection is protection, right? You can perceive it as these things didn't work out for me, right? But it's like they actually did. Them not working out was working out for you, right? This working in your favor. Okay. Something about the illusion. Because it's like you think we got all the things in a row, right? Everything's lined up, everything's where it's supposed to be, everything looks good on the surface. Then you got this tiny little bit of information or this tiny little extra bit that pops in. And now you're like, well, where the heck is that going to go? This throws all this out. So now it's a reassessing to apply the new bit of information. I'm also, they're kind of looking like schools of fish. Whatever those are they rocks or something? Balance. And pearls. Pearls of wisdom. And it's like 1, 2, 3. But the 1 and the 2 make the 3. Illusion of separation, of having to do everything on your own, and you're not really, you never were, right? Okay. I found a butterfly wing yesterday, and it wasn't one of the swallowtail butterflies. It was this poly something. They only live for 4 days. They don't have a mouth or digestive systems. They live as long as the energy they stored during their caterpillar phase. They live just long enough to mate and to reproduce. Isn't that crazy? Oh, and there's a deer. Dang it! I'm always too slow. Just got to see the butt of it. Okay, but look at all of these blossoms. Blackberry blossoms. That's why there's so many bees and butterflies and dragonflies all up in it. What's it? What it? Let's see what the runes. That one is algaes. Beautiful. The stag. Protection, victory. Also emperor vibes. I feel like the stag is the emperor in protection, defense, courage, independence, and higher self. The king stag stands proud and tall with mighty antlers. Fun fact about stags. Stags are male deer, but a stag is a buck. But not all bucks are stags. Stag is a certain age point. So that wisdom, that emperor, right? Bucks are kings, stags are emperors. Okay, there you go. Okay, he bestows his protection on all in his kingdom, emperor vibes. Leading by example, the stag teaches the young how to show courage in the face of danger. I think this is part of why you are looked after, because you are an example in your beingness and your doingness of one who is moving, is connected, right? Moving with intuition and love. And that's a beautiful thing. It's like you're breaking the illusion with your authenticity. Oh, okay. Alga's energy brings a powerful connection to divine consciousness. This rune is an aid to speak and commune with spirit and higher powers. In a reading, it references a connection with the gods and an awakening. You have been granted divine protection that is also a teaching force, and you are encouraged to be in a state of listening. And think of the posture of the stag, right? It stops, it listens, ears, it watches, it connects in, feels, right? It has to rely on its senses for survival. And so this connection, yes, this connection, this tapped inness, I'm getting reference to like babies that hold on to their moms. So I was thinking, like, I saw possums with their babies holding onto them, and also ducklings or baby swans when they get on the back of their mama and they hide underneath the wings. But it's like being attached to the source. It's like plugging in to a protection system. Okay. Okay. Let's do it. Let's see what comes for us in the tarot. You are looked after. The illusion is that you're not. Beautiful. We've got beautiful reciprocation, relationships, like minds, inner children, soul ties, playful, abundant, collaborative, and complementary. Here's your complementary tea, right? Okay. This could be your relationship with your inner self, your inner child. Did we talk about the inner child? Then we've got the Queen of Cups, okay, which is beautiful because this is like the Queen of Cups and her as her inner child, right? Playing with other inner children's, I don't know what to call them. Other inner children, yeah. Because we want to find people that our inner children can play with, right? That brings out our youthful, exploratory, engaging, playful selves, right? It's where our creativity is. That's why there's so much blooming our creative centers are run by our children and our inner children. And so if our inner children are scared, well, how much fun are they having in their playground, right? Not as much as if they weren't scared. Okay, we got the King of Pentacles, the groundedness, your grounded action, the actions that you take on earth, in the earth, with the earth, for the earth. Okay, King of Pentacles, Earth King, abundant, refusing to be domesticated, but can also be too earthly. I'm getting this balance between the earth and the water here, right? This heart space and this groundedness. This could be always internal or external relationships, right? But I'm getting balance of gorgeousness, flowing and groundedness, right? The river, the patience, carving in the earth. Something beautiful. Okay. Okay. King and Queen of Pentacles. No, King and Queen. King of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. Yes, these kinds of relationships are a result of this end of separation, end of holding yourself back, being held back. It's not always, I mean, there's a big part of it that is external, but it's also internal, holding back, right? Our fears, our limiting beliefs. We're talking about the fear of being looked after and what that means. Maybe that's where the illusion is, right? Reconsidering what it means to you to be looked after, right? What does that look like? You have become so independently proficient at your looking after yourself. What does it look like when somebody else is looking after you? We don't know, right? But you're not going to know if you don't open up to it. And part of it is this recognition that you're okay, right? This is about going in and reassuring your inner child that it is okay to let someone else look after you. Your ability to flow and ground. It's like flow with it, roll with it, and then also when to ground, when to grab on, when to take the action. And I mean, this protection, right? You're protected. You're protected with your own ability and magic, right? The emperor doesn't become less of an emperor because he considers his advisors' input or delegates to other people to do certain things. Like sometimes allowing somebody to help you actually takes more time because you have to tell them what to do. And so it the same amount of time it takes to tell them what to do, you could have already done it, right? And we do this with our kids, we do this in life, right? I'll just do it and it's done and I don't have to worry about it. And I know it's done right. But there's something about this. There's something about this. Okay. So I'm getting, because this one is your time of peace and restoration after hard work. And this is trusting that the seeds that you have planted, the work that you have done is having an effect, right? The things are happening behind the scenes, beneath the surface, while you rest and recover and recuperate. So it's like the illusion that you have to keep going in order to keep things alive. And that's not how energy works, right? It's okay. Right away, my brain wanted to argue that. It's my accuracy brain. Okay. Okay, brain. We're talking generally here. Okay. The illusion is that if you don't hold on to it, then it'll slip away, or it's like holding on to the seed, right? And you're like, as long as I hold this seed, then, I've got potential, right? And this is about the work that you have done to plant all the seeds, which requires you to let go, right? You got to let go of that seed, put it in the soil, and leave it, trusting that it will bloom and grow. This is that things happening behind the scenes while you rest. Okay, so you may not be. This is that looking after. You are being looked after. The soil is fertile. The sun is shining, right? The balance between the sun and the rain, all the cooperative components to the sprouting of the seeds is all in place. But it's like, I gotta do. And it's like, no, you gotta rest. You gotta trust. You gotta allow, right? This is part of that. There's a time to plant the seeds, and then there's a time to flow and let go, right? Let the things happen. And this is part of what you're releasing, right? This is why you need this time, because, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. And it's an ongoing one, right? It's like a pit stop. I don't know, race cars, and they're going around and around in circles, and then they got a pit stop. Got to change their tires, pump them up, regas, do whatever they do in their pit stop, and then off they go, right? But those pit stops are really, really important to the overall success. And if you skip a pit stop, then you risk blowouts, right? You risk not getting through. So this is your trust that when you are resting and recuperating, things are still happening in your favor. right? It's like, if I don't watch this pot, it's never gonna boil, right? And it's like the pot of water is on the element and the element's on high. You just gotta wait. Whether you stand there and watch or not, it's still gonna do its thing, right? So go put your feet up for 3 minutes while your water boils, right? Okay. This is part of the old ways, is the double checking. We may be checking, double checking. Well, check yourself, right? Recognize that there are self-reflecting moments. Yeah, recognize when you are trying to control things that are in their natural point of detachment. You have to let them go to grow. Let it go to grow. And same with you, right? You have to let go to grow. So there's something about that. Being able to look in and see where you are trying to hold on too tight, where you're digging in areas that are meant to be left to grow, right? We can't keep working the soil when we're trying to let those seeds grow. Every time we interrupt it, we're interrupting the process, right? Okay, what's this? It's your emotional regularity. Okay, all the things that are affecting your emotions. And we've been learning with this card that it's all about this momentum, right? This maintaining of our inner peace. And you get there through self-reflection, right? We've got these two cards here. We've got the figures. This is being able to assess the cups as they're coming in and release the ones that aren't going to serve the whole, right? Like worry, doubt, fear, trying to control. Control is an illusion. It's about flow, working with it, going with it, moving with it, flowing with it. Okay. And you are looked after. Yes, you've overcome or are in process of, right? Overcoming loss. No, you're rewiring your focus, right? This is part of this. This is part of this recognition. Looking at, okay, I'm seeing it because it's a 4 and a 5, right? So first you sit and you look at yourself, the self-reflection, right? Looking at your cups. Then it's cutting your losses, right? You're like, okay, I've assessed my cups. These ones are no good. These ones still are good, right? And we can get caught in, oh, these cups that are no good for us and we know it, but I'm just going to pine over them. I'm going to whine over them. I'm going to try to, make them work or all of that stuff, right? This is about focusing on like letting those things go. They're not serving, and taking the ones that do. Those ones that do are adding to this momentum, right? Okay, something like that. Something like that. And then we've got the 3 of Pentacles. So this process of self consideration and a mindfulness of your focus, it's your quick turnaround that builds momentum, right? It's okay. Yep, that no longer serves. out we go. Let's focus on the ones that do, right? Butterfly. Okay, and then we had this card fall on the ground. It's the High Priestess, okay? This is why it was so important to develop, or is important to develop, a very strong connection with your higher self and your intuition, because that is your guide. Those are your guides, right? Your internal, when you're here at this space, quiet. Ah, whoa, it's right there. Beautiful butterfly. Again, to be able to shift your focus quickly on things that lighten you, right? We're talking about deep and then the butterfly, right? And it's an instant shift, okay? So this is something along the lines of your momentum. Recognize, yes, and then release, right? Grab the things that serve and let go of the stuff that doesn't, quickly and efficiently. Okay, High Priestess, this one, and your work, okay? This is the work. It takes work to develop this connection, to learn how to trust your own intuition, learning how to move by, through, with intuition, right? It's a process. It takes the time that it takes. Something about your rest and restoration being an important part of it. The High Priestess is in the dark here, in the moon spaces, right? So there's like the sun time, the daytime, the active time, the time to take grounded action, right? And then there's the moon time, the rest, the sleep, the subconscious, right? In your dreams, in your sleeping state. And this balance between the two, your night and day, right? Okay, just got super hot. Just got super hot. I love a fan. Okay. Any of these ones want to come out today? Let's get a different. Let's go back to the goil. The goil foil. The gold foil here. What additional info will help us with this reading here? Just the one? Okay, I guess so. Just the one, and it is Ten of Swords. This thing we're grounding in. The release, the letting go. Okay, let's see what it says in this book. Having hit rock bottom, one begins to climb back out, a spark of courage to stand back up. The bluebells. In Greek mythology, these flowers grew from the spilled blood of Hyacinthus after the jealous Zephyrus caused Apollo's discus to kill the boy. Oh. These flowers grew from the spilled blood. Ovid also wrote that the flower had the Greek sounds of grief written on the petals. The words are the oar of Apollo. There's so much going on in such a small sentence, and people and names I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the story. Greek mythology, Hyanthesis must be the boy Apollo's discus killed by accident. And Zephyrus was jealous and caused the thing to happen. Okay. Anyways, this getting to a place where like the tens are the ends, right? So it's like you're finished with this despair, this grief, this stuckness, this being pinned down, this inaction, unmovement, right? Not moving forward. Okay, so the two tens here, it's really kind of driving home the end to this. And it was a big deal. It's a huge deal to overcome, to get back up, right? The courage needed to. This is the Emperor vibes. This is the courage. Wasn't courage one of the things? With Algiz here. Where is it? Protection, defense, courage, independence, and higher self. Okay, but part of the process I'm getting, part of the work is reaching this point, is hitting the rock bottom, is getting to a place where you're like, I am sick and tired of being stuck. What do I got to do? Oh, okay. I got to self reflect. I got to start looking at the things, mindsets, limiting beliefs, projections, traumas and dramas and the things in my life, the mindsets, all of the things, right? And assess what I need to let go of. Then I need to not get caught up in the letting go of and holding on to process, to keep my focus upon the things that I have and are working for me, not the things that I've lost and are no longer working for me. This is that you get more of what you focus on, right? So focus on your wins, your gratitude, right? This is what the your spirit team is trying to encourage for you. Also, I'm getting collaboration, right? Which is part of this beautiful connections. Nobody wants to collaborate with someone who is here, right? I could, but it's probably not going to work, so why bother, right? There was this crazy, creepy live action / cartoon that I remember when I was younger, and it was called The Toll Booth or something like that. Anyways, it starts off live action. This kid gets something delivered to his house, and it's like this little thing that he sets up, and it's a toll booth. It's a vehicle, and there's like a toll booth, which was like just like a arbor that in this little track that you drove your little train through or whatever. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen it. But when he goes through, he builds it. But when he goes through the portal, the thing, spoiler alert, it's a portal. And then he's in this cartoon world. And there's this part in it. It's very like, I remember it was educational. So it was like, there was like math or numbers, something like that. I should look it up. But I remember there was a place called the Doldrums, and it was like this sticky, inky, slow space that you had to work really hard to get out of so that you didn't get stuck into it. Anyways, I'm getting lifting yourself up from the doldrums, okay? And that work is why you are looked after. It's the meeting the universe halfway. It's the lifting yourself up high enough and creating the connection. It's the plugging in, right? What were we talking about? With the duck babies, this connection, plugging into source, and that being part of your protection. Okay. Let's get an oracle. Maybe they can sail the things. That one. Let's see. What is it? It's a 42. Protection. Wow. What were we just saying something about protection? Shield, interaction, and balance. And a butterfly. Okay. Your energy field or aura is always interacting with the world around you. It reflects your current state of being and constantly changes with your thoughts and feelings. This energy exchange is a natural process and is part of the framework for collective human growth. Do you ever feel drained when entering a room or interacting with certain people? Consider the situations in which you share your energy with others. This card is assigned to shield your energies from unhealthy interactions. Similar to eating food, you have a choice as to what enters your system. Your intent to protect yourself from disruptive energy when focused through prayer, meditation, or visualization will define the terms of your energetic interactions. I totally blanked out while reading that, so I don't even know what I just said. Your intent to protect yourself from disruptive energies when focused through prayer, meditation, or visualization will define the terms of your energetic interactions. Your intentions to protect yourself will define the terms of your energy. Okay. Ask your spirit guides for daily protection, and their support will create immediate results. Okay, this is that you are looked after. And the protection, right? Whoa. And your balance. Okay. And your peace. Okay. Also, crystals are excellent protectors of your energy field. Yes. We had a whole thing yesterday about selenite, right? Consider choosing an appropriate crystal for this purpose and carry it with you as you go about your day. Yes. Think of it as like a protective shield, right? I've got a piece of tektite, and I keep it on a long chain like this, by my keys. So when I go out, I grab my keys, I put the thing on, and it's like an energetic shield. Okay. Consider choosing. Okay, as a divine being, you have the power to transform and overcome any source of negative emotion or fear-based thought you may encounter. This is where we're at, right? This consideration, self-reflecting on the things that are contrary to your momentum. So I'm getting like the overworking something. It's like when you're kneading dough to make bread. We can get so caught up in the process of the kneading that we go beyond what is needed, and then we over knead, and then the bread is tough, or I don't know what happens. It affects the bread in a negative way when you knead it too much. And the same with when you don't knead it enough, right? It doesn't create the glutens enough to hold together. It's a whole thing. There's a sweet spot. So this is about finding the sweet spot, because it is balance, right? Balance between stepping and flowing, right? And knowing when. But there's very much this faith and restoration. I'm getting the lion vibes, which is also the courage, right? To stand up, to take action, to move. Okay, let's get an archetype to close it out. There it is. Whoop, there it is. It's the Pilgrim. And look, it's a 20, which and it's 45, 45, and which are 2 10s. Okay, and we got the 2 10s down here. So that happened. Okay, we've got nope, nope. There you are. The wanderer, the traveler, the apprentice. For the pilgrim, an outward journey is always an inward journey. This archetypal wanderer seeks wisdom, experience, and meaning in the furthest reaches of the globe and the deepest regions of the spirit. This is giving me this vibe. Let's look, this one here looks kind of like a globe. So your work on in all the areas, right? Okay. Others will wonder when the pilgrim will settle down and claim a more conventional life. But the pilgrim knows that the heart belongs in motion. Where there is motion, there is freedom, expansion, and growth. Responsibilities, social conventions, and logistics lull us to sleep. And soon the pilgrim becomes veiled in the slumber of the day-to-day, the doldrums. Yet, when this archetype awakens, it rallies our sense of adventure and leads us out the door toward a new reality. With the pilgrim at your side, you will never lack courage, nor do you need every amenity. Travel light, travel soon, your spirit needs it. Beautiful. When light learns, grows, adapts, and studies. When dark, aloof, non-committal, and flaky. We all have a deep longing to answer the call, to get unstuck. What are the obstacles between you and the door? Beautiful, right? That being at the bottom, the rock bottom, and the choosing to come out, the courage. And don't forget to rest, right? Don't forget to acknowledge. It's like you finally, fashioned a rope from the roots that you dug in the hole, and you pulled yourself out, and it took everything just to get yourself out of the hole. Take a moment, catch your breath, right? It's like when Wesley climbs up the cliffs of insanity, right? And Amigo, or what is his name? His name is Anigo Montoya. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Inigo? Anyways. He helps him up, and Wesley's like, okay, let's fight. And he's just like, no, just catch your breath. Like, take a second, right? And he's like, and he dumps some rocks out of his boots, right? And they share a little story time, and it's really sweet. And then they're like, okay, let's go, right? So something about that. Okay. With your rest and restoration. And trust that you are looked after, trust that the work that you have done, there is a feedback loop, there is evidence and effect. There's effect. Everything has effect. Trust the work that you have done to have an effect. Allow it to, right? It's like, I don't know how many weeks ago when I was plunking in all my Scarlet Runner beans that I got, and I was just plunking them in everywhere, going, I hope one of these does their thing, right? And then, weeks of nothing. Just, are they going to grow? Are they not going to grow? And then all of a sudden you start seeing the little doop, 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 doop. Oh, things are happening. And then the first leaves. Well, now they're starting to climb. They're about, like this tall now. And they're such beautiful climbers. They're so smart, beans. Peas, you give peas something to climb on, and they're like, oh, what do I do? Where do I go? But beans are like, oh, I'll climb up that thing. Okay. Let's get a kitty card. Little kitty wisdom to close it out. I just feel a gap in the spread here, so we'll just get a kitty card. There it is. Oh, damn it. They gave us 3. Okay, we got Cozy Home and Soulmates. But I'm just going to read this one because this one was face up, and look at her. Expression. Meet Chanti. She once kept her ideas and feelings locked away in her heart where no one could see or hear them. It felt safe and secure, but alas, she felt so alone. No one truly knew her. She was longing to come out and play. Gathering her courage. Okay. She flung open the window in her mind and unlatched the doorway to her soul. She started to speak her mind and give voice to her heart. She could never again fit in the small, closed space of hiding. Soon her words grew into unabashed singing. What song are you keeping captive? What song at long last can you unleash into the world? Right? Just like that. Okay. And then Cozy Home and Soulmates. So this is the balance, right? The king and the queen here. The cozy home, the being thankful. Clear the space and surround yourself only with the things that support you and make your heart sing with the joy of being alive. Okay? Yes, this is part of that assessing your wins, releasing and celebrating, right? Okay. And look at them. Cutie patooties. Okay. They all look similar. So balance, right? Also beautiful. Okay. That is it. Okay. Try not to go for hours and hours. That's the stuff here for you. I already forget all the stuff, so hopefully something landed in your garden, in your fertile soil, that'll take root. Okay, this is about developing your faith and your trust, knowing that you are divinely protected because of the work that you have done, because of your connection and your continued playful exploration of self, of others, of the world, right? Okay. Love and appreciate you. And see you next time. Bye for now.